Okay. 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 Hang on. Okay. You just set everything up. So it's been a while since I streamed last time. And I made some progress on the game. I've not worked on it a crazy amount. You can see this bar here, it doesn't do anything. It was just like me trying to do something, but then I'm just like, it's too early in development for that. And as you can see, we have this little bar here, and if I press this button, you can see I build. It's supposed to be the early stages of the castle. It's not completed yet. And you can see there's also some grass and some trees. So I've incorporated this system into the into the generation process. But that's not what we're going to be focusing on today. Today I'm going to focus, okay, that's horrible, but maybe I will focus a bit on this bar here. And so what I will do is I will work on the player control system, because it's very cluttered at the moment and the code is very ugly. It doesn't have much structure to it at all. So I'm going to have to make it a bit better. As you can see, there's a lot of junk here. So there are a few things. I think the first one, I think it's relatively obvious one. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. So these materials are not really necessary, I think. I could put them in the resource loader here, which is basically just a, I think they're called singletons. And I should probably make this the wait, can you just say like no, there's no sort of weird thing for it, but okay, so I have a singleton right here. So I just added a singleton to an object that I just put dump basically all the objects I need to, all the resources I need to load, hence the name resource loader. And that's pretty much all this does. And at the moment it just is all of the models. I have put, they're in plural, because, and they're arrays, because I might put more models on each, like multiple tree models, grass models, castle models, and so on. Sandcastle as well, right? It's supposed to be an Easter egg. It's stupid. I just wanted to try it out a bit more. At the moment, this isn't generated at all. And I've updated the classic world generator a bit as well. But yeah, anyway. So I'm going to work on the player control, and first of all, as I said, I think I want to add some models here, or well, materials to it, because I think it's better to put them here if I want to use them more. So we have the correct material, I guess, which I'm going to use on anything that is correct. So correct, public material, incorrect. So these are the two main correctness materials. let's see, public material ground. And this is going to allow me to use the singleton for all of the resources, which is going to be quite helpful, I think. And we also maybe want to have a water material eventually. So we have our materials, and I want to add them to the, it's in the game controller game object. I have the resource loader script. So I want to add some materials to it. So I have allowed, disallowed, probably rename them. Correct and incorrect. I have our game controller here. And we also want the ground there, and we want the water. Okay, that's perfect. Let's go. So we have our player control again. Yeah. I just say yeah a lot. I don't know why. Anyway, let's just basically just work on the new thing right here. This is just, I guess I should put it like this. This is what I like to do when I'm making a rewrite. I just put this here. I name it basically just old junk, and I work on my new thing. So I have our camera state and control state of default. It shouldn't be named default, it should be move around. Well, I guess main, because here's just the main thing that we're moving in. Well, I guess default was a decent name. Anyway, so we have a, let's see. So I'm going to have a, yeah, let's just start by putting in the void setup and the void draw. No, update it is, and it's start. Yeah, just old weird programming languages that I remember. Put this here instead. So that's pretty much all we need. Okay, so in the update function, now I have sort of a dilemma here. Well, sort of the train of thought is that if I should put this here, should I do a main update function and things like that, or should I just put it all here? I think I should put it all here. Maybe I should actually not use control state enum, but instead use structs for all of the states, and then I can just set a I don't really know. Whatever. Alright, let's just do something. So we have a bool. So yeah, we should have here, we should put it over here. State booleans, or flags, controlling the different features of the camera. So for example, move around, we can move around, and by default it's false. By default it's not defined, which I think is false. What else might we need? Well, like, I guess render selector, and we might also want a bool p render selector. Means previous frame did we render selector back then, and so on. And so here we just want to reset. I guess I should have a reset flags. And so we're just gonna set them all to false. So we should put can move around is false, render selector is false, p render selector selector equals false. I could have used an integer and put these in an enum as well for all of the flags, and then I could have a get flag state thing. That feels a bit better and more fun, so let's do that. Just because I can. I should actually put like a flag thing, and then I can just give it some enum stuff. You can do stuff. It's a bad explanation of what I mean, but whatever. Whatever. I just say whatever whenever I want. So you should have flags, and I don't want it to be public, or maybe I would. Maybe I do. So we have move around. Move around. Let's see, render select, render train requirements. That's a long one. Requirements. And now we can just make an int 64 or int integer uint. Okay, we should make a uint, and we want this to be called, I guess, flag types. Uint flags, and here I should have a bool get flag, flag type flag, and we should return flags and the int version of the flag, and we should say if that's larger than 0. We should also avoid set flag, type flag bool state. I should just say that flags equals flags or int flag. Okay, there we go. So, so we set the flag. However, how would one put it to false? Basically reset a flag. I should probably have a different function for that. Well, I don't need it right now, so okay. I just have a void reset flags. I just say flags equals 0, and that's just gonna reset all of the flags. So let's do some testing here. So first let's set flag type dot move around. I'm gonna say debug.log get flag type does move around. We're gonna see if it says true. Let's see. No, it says false, which it should not do. So why does it say false? We should probably do a uint. And now it's false again. Oh, I think I know what's wrong. Yeah. So this needs to be 1, this needs to be 2. And of course that's the same as they already are. But, you know, it's important later, and I'll show you why. Let's see if this is true. Yes, okay. Let's see if we set this to the other flag type. Let's see if it says it's false. Okay. Well, jag måste vara själv. Stäng dörrarna. Ja. So we need to increase it by powers of 2, otherwise it doesn't work. Okay, so we got our flag system set up, and that is, it might seem like an annoying sort of sidestep, but it's actually going to be really handy in a moment. I'll show you why. So we can do something like if get flag type dot move around, then we can say that we are going to basically just allow for moving around. And if we get the flag render terrain requirements, we can do that. Yeah, this is stupid because like we're going to control it so much. It's going the memory benefit of making it a unsigned integer doesn't help at all. So just do move can move around, can render terrain requirements. I'm just gonna have a bit of a nicer thing to it. Okay, can move around, and we can just do that. And in the flags here, we can just set that. Right, so yeah, this is coding. Just redo stuff all the time. Okay, so we set all of that to false, and we might also want the prender train wreck. Oh, whoops. Copy that. Right. So what I want to do is I want to see if can move around. We want to move the camera around. If render train requirements and I guess is not equals to render train requirements, we're gonna do something else. And of course p render train requirements equals render train requirements, because that's how previous stuff works. And this is because, you know, we want to make sure that if we change the render train requirements, we can generate the mesh for it later. Okay, so this is the control state flags. So let's draw out a state machine for this bad boy. Now, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So we have the normal move around state, which is just going to be like this. And we can, if we build, so press build, we get into the build menu, in which case we can build stuff. Right, and here we can just like have the exit button, exit. But we also have that, well, I guess we should just have like, here you can build stuff and it doesn't really matter. You might also want to be able to demolish buildings with this, but that's for the building thing. And that's it for now, but later I might add some more stuff like unit control and building control, and those are quite important. But for now, let's just implement the move around thing. So if can move around, we want to move the camera around. And how do we do this? Well, first, well, I've got some neat little code here. So we need some state variables. So I have some variables for the control states, and for now we're just gonna have one thing, and that's a vector3 p mouse, well, previous cursor position, and the previous cursor position is going to be null for now. And we will say that if you can move around, you always want the cursor position to be known. So we need to do a raycast. Do a raycast to find. Well, yeah. So let's add another one, which means find cursor. So if find cursor, well, I guess locate cursor. So if we should locate the cursor, we need to first do a raycast. And to do this raycast, we first need to make the layer, which is going to be a layer mask, which is basically going to find the ground. This specific one doesn't seem to do exactly what I want, so I'm going to have to change that. But yeah, let's see here. So the ground layer is the 8th layer, and that means that it should be the 8th one. That should be a 1. So I should do 1 bit shift 8. Okay, so let's do that. So let's first of all just do a raycast. So here I think I did the raycast. Let's see. Yeah, here I set up the ray. Yeah, what is the distance do? Doesn't seem to do much. So all we need really is this for now. So we can do this. And first of all, we don't have the camera, and we need the camera. But we should just be fine to find the main camera. So we should have a camera. Cursor camera. And we should set the cursor camera equals camera dot main. Yeah. So let's do cursor camera. And we should say if physics dot cast ray cast, and we should ray cast the ray, and we should do a float max distance, which should be about 1000. We should have a layer mask, which should be 1 to 8. We should have a that's not really it. Let's see here. I should have a hit info as well. Why can't I have that? Okay, so that should be that, and then I should have the layer mask. Yeah. Okay, that seems to be correct. Yes. So we should say hit dot point. So cursor position. Cursor position. Why do I say P cursor position? Well, that's all I need to stop. Right, not really. So let's make a vector 3 cursor position. Is it? Oh, okay. Vector 3 is a non-nullable type. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Anyway, let's find the cursor position. So cursor position equals hit dot point. And if our point, well, that's really all we need. So let's try this out. So locate cursor. First of all, locate cursor equals false, like this. So the first thing we need to do is just reset all the flags. Reset the flags, then we check which state it is. So we check the camera state, and we make a case for the camera state control state dot dot main. I also want dot build and action. Here we should just do something like a stupid message. And also okay, so now here we need to say locate cursor equals true, can move around equals true, and that's pretty much all of the things we need. What is going on? Okay, not much really. Okay, so we have our render train requirements. That's not what I want. So yeah, so we need debug.log cursor position. So let's see what we get. It's the same thing. No, it's not. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we just need to say that, first of all, p cursor position equals cursor position, right? That's important to do. And the second thing to make sure is that now in the can move around thing, we do just say vector3 delta equals the previous cursor position minus the cursor position, and we say that camera dot transform dot position equals a new vector3, which is camera dot transform dot let's say vector3 cam position equals cam p equals the cursor camera dot transform dot position. Now we say, now you can just say cam p equals a new vector3 where we have the cam p plus delta dot x. There we go. Cam p dot y, cam p dot z plus delta dot z. There we go. Let's see if we can now move around, and also the delta needs to be divided by 2, because that's what I did before and it works relatively well. It doesn't work too well, but oh well. And we can't move around, and oh, that's a bit janky. So let's just see if can move around, and input dot mouse get mouse button down 0. Yeah. Right, that should be all. That's what I did on the previous one, right? So what exactly is the issue? It should move. Oh, right. Main camera. Is this the main camera? Or is its child the main camera? It's Yeah, this should be the main camera. So what's going on exactly? Oh, right. I need to say cursor camera dot transform dot position equals cam. Okay, that should now be functional. Correct. Okay, I'm moving a little bit. First of all, stats. Yeah, stats are good, but it's still not nearly as good as I want it to be. So why would this happen? I don't know why this would happen. It's really weird. Yeah. Why does that happen? Not sure. Why is it so slow? I mean, this thing is there. That's obvious, but like that doesn't matter. The fact that that's what's going on. So what's the delta? Let's print that so I can see what it is. Oh, it's 0. And that's probably because of that. So, yeah, okay, now it works. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Let's move this up from the ground, and yes. And oh. That's not how it's supposed to be, if you didn't know. And also the game is really pixelated, which personally I don't mind. I like pixelated, but this is a bit too much. So why are you pixelated, game? Why are you pixelated? Oh, it's okay. That makes sense. It was really, really, really far away. Okay, let's go a bit closer, maybe. Just a bit. Okay, there we go. That's nice, and let's divide this by 2 and get exactly the same problem as I had previously, because I'm lazy. And I don't fix problems, I only wait for them to fix themselves. Okay, perfect. So that's working again, right, as it did last time. And yeah, let's add the building thing again, I think, maybe. Or I'm just gonna quit because yeah, okay. Bye. I'll see you on Friday, I think, and I'll continue working. And then I'll implement the ultimate, the second state, the build state. And yeah, it's gonna be what I'm gonna do tomorrow. So